I'm Ed Stafford, an explorer and former captain in the British Army. I was the first man ever to walk the length of the Amazon River.
I like challenges.
My motivation? Simple.
I feel most alive when I'm going into the unknown.
The idea for this series first came to me when I was walking the Amazon.
Getting the most accurate and up-to-date maps in the Amazon was nigh on impossible. As a result, I ended up using Google Earth and satellite imagery to navigate a lot of the time. I realized that there's so much more detail, and it's just a different way of navigating. Immediately, your eye is drawn to something which is a bit of an anomaly and go, what is that? I don't know what that is. But there's these white lines, and I don't know what they are at all. This marking does not make any sense. This is exciting.
I wanted to know who was taking these pictures and whether they were as intrigued as I was. My inquiries even reached the International Space Station.
Hello from the ISS, the International Space Station. I have taken photographs of extraordinary sights. Something catches your eye and you just wonder, what is that? The things we see from up here can raise as many questions as answers, and it's exciting to know that there are people on the ground, people like you, going to see what's really going on.
Exploration of Earth and of space seemed to be coming together with a single purpose: to understand our planet. And so that's what I did. I chose 5 different images taken in the most remote and unexplored corners of the planet. Swamps of Papua, mountains in Siberia, Amazonian jungle, and the hottest desert on Earth. They all showed something inexplicable and mysterious.
I'm not really interested in making TV that's scripted. I'm not interested in following somebody else's idea of what an adventure should be.
But before I set off into the unknown, it was essential to learn as much as I could from people on the ground.
Without doubt, I wouldn't have been able to get to many of the targets without the help of the local people. I've been helped by a priest.
I think it's possible, all right.
A princess.
I've never met a princess before. That's incredible.
A drug dealer. It's literally, you couldn't make it up. I'd been worried that Siberia was going to be frosty in terms of not just the weather, but in terms of the people as well.
Come in.
My name is Ed.
Меня Леня. Leonid.
Nice to meet you. Leonid was cool. He was like Jean-Claude Van Damme's dad. Copious amounts of vodka. Despite the language barrier, you know, it was very clear that Leonid and I were good mates. Because we both had a little bit to drink, we had decided to challenge. I challenged him, I think, to an arm wrestle, and he took me up on the... Whoever wins, we give each other our boots.
Давай, поехали.
This is such a boy thing to do, but there was a connection on a level of we both liked physical strength. And we saw this as a sort of real quality, and it was obviously real base level stuff.
In Danakil, Ethiopia's desert of death, that reaching my target, even filming the journey, went clean out of my mind. This was a real crisis.
Where are the camels over there? Oh my God. I hadn't even noticed it had come undone. It was an utter nightmare, you know? All of my water was on the camel that went. Okay, got about 200 meters between me and the camel. Oh! Ah! Ah! I knew how to make the camel walk on. I knew how to make the camel sit. Oh! The one thing I sort of omitted to learn was how to make the camel stop. If you're chasing a camel through the desert that you want to catch up with, it's a good idea to not do it in a panic, essentially. And I did panic immediately. I ran after the camel, and the camel sensed my panic, and it started running away from me. And the faster it ran, the faster I ran, and it was just this self-perpetuating farce, almost.
Whoa! Stop! Oh, 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 oh!
I was utterly reliant on the water that was on the camel. If the camel had gone, then I have no water, and I would have had to walk out of the desert without any water and hope that I didn't die of dehydration before I got out.
Day.
I think in terms of documenting these expeditions, I always wanted to self-film. There is a cameraman at the beginning of each expedition.
This is Johnny, who's cameraman. It's together, the two of us will be going on this mission.
I need that person to be able to get the wides of the early stages of the journey.
Is it recording?
Yeah, it's recording.
As soon as you've got a crew around you, they're asking you to do things, they're asking you to repeat things, they're getting in the way.
Tom, cheers, mate.
Good luck, Ed.
Thank you.
See you in a few days.
Cheers.
Thank you very much, Johnny.
Good luck, man.
Thanks, mate.
Pushing out on my own and self-filming when the situation does get at a risk level where I really just want to rely on myself. That gives me the ability to go that extra mile because I'm not having to worry about anybody else being there.
I'm so tired. It's just inch by inch.
You have to set the camera up and walk back, and then walk back towards it. So every shot that you see me walking towards a camera or away from a camera, clearly I've got to have set that up before or go back and retrieve it, one or the other.
The more progress I made towards the targets, the more distance I put between myself and any type of medical assistance. These locations were so isolated that any type of illness or injury could quickly become life-threatening.
Cramp in my hand, diarrhea, and feeling nauseous.
Suddenly recognise, hang on, I might be ill now, and it's quite alarming because of the remoteness, really. And that happened in the middle of the desert.
Not only is my mouth completely and utterly parched, but I feel so nauseous, I really do.
Got to a situation where I had to tie the camels up, and I didn't really know what was going to happen. It was extraordinary. I've never thrown up with such velocity and such power. I was actually writhing in pain, like there was knots in my stomach that were exploding to force this water out. You know, this is the hottest place on Earth, and I've just lost every single bit of fluid straight into the desert floor.
And in 30 degrees below zero in Siberia, the dangers closed in with alarming speed. The freezing temperatures were not only breaking me down physically, but my brain function began to go too.
Do you ever have those feelings that your mind is playing tricks on you?
When you can't rely on your own judgment, the situation can deteriorate very rapidly.
My big toe on my right foot is causing me no problems at all because I can't feel it. My voice, speech is starting to slur a bit. I felt like I was having to really work hard to keep my brain working properly. And I think, you know, I definitely got to a sort of semi-hypothermic condition whereby my very core, I found it impossible to heat up. It's slowing my brain down. It is literally, it's like my brain is working to treacle.
I wanted the series to be an authentic reflection of what happened, so whenever things went wrong, it had to be on show.
The rain is obviously coming in. You can just see the haze in front of my head torch. Can you confirm that we have not got permission? No. We've not got permission to go in.
You have to go. You have to leave.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
People think to be an explorer you need to be superhuman, super tough. It's not that at all. It's more of an ability to stay positive, stay motivated, because in expeditions everything always goes wrong. No plan survives any journey, really. Okay. Oh!
Whoa, whoa! And it's raining! We're very, very close now. Oh my goodness. The exact direction that I need to go to find the target is a rainbow. Probably come up 400 meters now. Very, very cheeky little last leg, this one. I can see water glimmering down here. I've got there. Walking up onto the black rock. From a fire eagle's nest to an alien spaceship's landing place, it is the most phenomenal feature.
When I finally reached my targets against the odds, all that remained was one last piece of the puzzle.
Being able to launch the quadcopter up and get an even bigger view from the air. This is what we were seeing on the map back in England, back in London. Breathtaking, honestly, utterly breathtaking. I don't think it's the adventure along the way or the mission to get to the target. I don't think one is more important than the other. They're just two parts of the whole, and together they make just amazing trips. It's like finding a new species. It's like discovering something that there is no information about. I think that's, it's magical, utterly magical. We live on a far richer planet than we give it credit for, I think.